here is my deck list for the Madolche 2021 July format, about to be August. Now, I have been playing with the ratios a lot, and I've been changing some of the things, and I have a few niche stuff that I haven't really seen Madolche players incorporate, at least on the deck list on YouTube and in the Madolche Discord. So I thought I would post my take. I'm not necessarily fully confident, but I'm like 98% confident with this build at the moment. Now, Madolche is a very, very strong road deck. Super strong. And I'm going to be trying to slightly glance through the stables and stuff, like the typical stuff you see in a Madolche build. However, I'm going to explain some of the tech choices, primarily in the extra deck, that I will mention. Alright, so 3 Angeling, 3 Petting, 3 Madolche. Literally their bread and butter. Lone Fire Blossom for the deck. 1 card full combo for the... Well, 1 card almost full combo for the deck. And the Searcher that gets you into either this or this. Now, the only issue is that Madolche and Petting Cess can become dead if you have a hand trap in the grave. Which is why you'll see later on, we don't play too many. But we try to play ones that are extremely impactful in both the main or side. Play the 1 brick Pudding Cess. Would play it to get the Chocolate a la mode loops. 2 Hoot Cake. I was experimenting with 3 and trying to run a little more hand traps. However, my hands were getting a little too cloggy, so I decided against it in the end. 2 Messenger, pretty typical stuff. Now, the first piece, 3 Shifter. Shifter makes so many meta decks literally pass. Tri Brigade, Virtual World, it's so good. Some trap decks, even like Paleo, if you drop this, they either get a really bad board or they have to pass in case they lose a lot of their resources in Graveyard Recursion. So it's just so good. You drop this on Striker, what are they going to do? Engage and lose their only engage? I love it. That's the only hand traps. I actually cut Herald. I was playing it for a while, but due to cutting Lancia from the main a while back, when I main decked that, back when Dinos and Dragon Link were the meta, I noticed that it was a lot cloggier than I wanted to, and a decent amount of times I would have to, I'd open up 1 starter, and I would either have to discard the Herald and pray to God I top deck something, or let that be a dead card when I could draw something a lot more impactful and beneficial. So that's why we don't play the Herald. Now, we play the 1 Chateau, the 1 Ticket. Pretty usual stuff. You could search them, you'd never want to open them. 3 Salon, please play 3 Salon. God, don't play anything else besides 3. You want to open this, especially in the build that I'm playing. My extra deck has 2 targets for double Madolche normal summons. So good. Alright, now 3 extra. God, if you have Prosperity, play it. I really liked the +1 for a while, but as I've realized more and more, hitting your Zeus or your Rafflesia or 3 Teacher or Tiramisu can sometimes make you lose. And I've had it happen multiple times. But given that in mind, if you don't and you can't afford Prosperity, definitely get this. This is the next best thing. I don't recommend Desires in this deck because you have the ability to play so many strong staples if you so desire that you don't want to get rid of them or lose your 1 of Pudding Cess, have to play 2, have to play an additional Chateau, it just hurts your full combo. So play Extra if that's what you have access to. Now 3 Book, 2 Cosmic. I played around with 2/2, but I feel like in this meta, Book is really strong. Madolche already has a good matchup versus Virtual World, and I feel like Book of Moon is one of the reasons why. Being able to play this, and you can drop it on any Floodgate, Caliga, you drop it on a Crystal Wing, you drop it on any type of card that would Floodgate you or have a negate. It stops so many stupid stuff. I played against Infinitrax, and if I'd opened this, I could have booked the Infinitrack Raigeki and then played full combo and vibed the entire time. So that's just one example of how it's really strong. Now, 2 Cosmic, I like to really have some back row in the main deck, and it can be very applicable going first or second, so say, Virtual World, or say you're going first and you set a Cosmic, you can hit Prank Kid's Field Spell, you can hit Magical Meltdown, you could hit any back row they set passing. It's just so good, and it helps you out Floodgates as well, because Madolche does lose the 1-for-1 trap trades, so just having this as a way to deal with it is really useful. If we had more room in the main or more decks played more back row, I would play that at 3. The one called by. This called by saves lives. If called by hit nib, this card would be a drug. I'd be addicted to it, but unfortunately it does not. But it just helps you play because this deck is pretty susceptible to hand traps. 2 Promenade, you only need the 2. You can recycle it with Tiramisu and Glass Souffle. I feel like a lot of people forget that you can trigger Tiramisu by using Promenade and Grave because it's a Madolche card, and it's so good to just keep looping it with Salon. I do not play Knights. I've debated on it, but I just don't. So half the time that I have it on board, like, I'll either get Kaiju'd or, like, something happens to where my grave is clogged and I can't use it. So it just becomes a really clunky card that I don't like. I've been testing it, and I cut it after testing it again, but I might try it for the 3rd time. But as for right now, I feel really confident with this. Especially if you're trying to play anti-nib boards, you don't even go in the Knights. And you don't want to open it for another reason I'll explain in a second. Now, 3 Imperm, probably the best hand trap for this deck besides Shifter, and it's super impactful this format. Play 3, you need to play 3. It's so good, 1st or 2nd, breaking boards, like, it's so good. Now, this is why. I'd rather play the 2 Strike than the Knights, because Strike is always live. Yes, Knights does have the bonus of being a hand rip, which I really like. However, the fact that Strike is a counter trap, monster summon or effect negate is really nice, and I like opening it going first. Even if my hand breaks, if I open this is so much more impactful than Knights, because it not only negates it, it destroys, and I can stop summons. So I really like this. I've been playtesting it for a bit, and I would not change it. I would keep it in the main. Now, 2 Gravediggers, finally off. Some people only play 1, but I really like playing 2, because not only say you you Rafflesia, and you protect your say from a nib. Some boards, in some players, in some decks, they only play 1. However, you have the 2nd one, so not only is it a negate for your turn, but if you do happen to use her effect, you have another one backed up for another Graver monster or banished negate, which has came up and like can make some like 5-6 negate boards, 5 to 6 disrupt negate boards if you have Rafflesia, and that wouldn't be possible sometimes if you only played the 1. You do open it a little bit more, unfortunately. However, it's not horrible going first opening it because you only need 1 starter. So if you open it, you just set it, and then it's another negate for your turn. That's it for the main. It is a 40 card main. I was rocking 42 for a while, but due to adjusting some ratios, it is 40 finally. Now onto the extra. We have the 3 Tiramisu, 3 Teacher, 3 Chocolate. I only play the 3rd Chocolate because I don't have Prosperity. Otherwise, I would. 3 Teacher and 3 Tiramisu, you would play 3 regardless, but these cards, Teacher and Tiramisu, is what makes this deck viable. These are so good. Pretty much like a monster immune Madolche quick effect, plus a shuffle 2 from any graveyard, and you can add cards back to a hand. From Chateau, you know how many times I've added back starters and or hand traps and played them again, or I've been able to use them the next turn, because I've looped Shifter one time 3 times on my friend because I had Glass Souffle. And Tiramisu, some of the best removal in the game. I say that so much, it's become a meme between me and my friend, but like it is. Non-target shuffle 2, it has Dragoon. What else do I need to say, dude? Alright, I played 2 Sistar. I was playing 3, but I cut a 3rd one, not only because I wanted to try another card that I feel like is pretty influential in certain matchups, but even when I like extrav 2 Sistars out of my extra deck, I never really minded. Like, I don't really care if I lose my Sistar sometimes, because sometimes, like, say you can't go into Sistar your first turn, whatever, you end on a can't be destroyed by battle hoot cake that you can then chain Glass Souffle on if you want to, and make it immune by monsters, which pretty much makes it the same thing as this, right? Except it can't protect itself from card effect destruction, but it's pretty much the same thing. So I don't really mind, and I still play it because you can end on it, and it is nice on the occasion that you do end on it. But sometimes I'll play sets, and I won't even end on this, like even if I don't extrav any of it. So I don't really care too much. Now I have 1 Zeus and 1 Gaia. Now the Gaia is another tech choice that I've been playing. I haven't seen anyone play. Me and my friend in Virtual World, he plays this in order to get a 2-mat Zeus, and he's like, you probably could play this. And I'm also gonna probably put like an image on the screen, like a shitty PNG image. So I'll stop moving it so you guys can see the card. but it's Gaia the Thunder Charger, and you can rank it up on top of Chocolate a la Mode because she is a rank 5. So you can make a 6 mat Zeus, so you can make a Zeus with 3 effects. So what you do is make it 2 so you get 2 Madolches, right? Go into that. Chocolate a la Mode. And all this is going to be turn, like, say you're going first, is turn 3. You then would use Madolche Promenade's second effect, because since this is your second turn, like you went first, you're gonna have a Promenade Grave, right? You banish it, then you can equip another Madolche under it. You stack the Gaia, then you go into Zeus. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if you banish the Promenade Gaia, you go into a 6 mat Zeus, and say there's times like, you're playing and like it's turn 3, you had to use Teacher's Effect during one turn to like shuffle something back, right? So now you only have a 3 material Zeus, but if you had that Gaia, you stack it, you now have a 2 mat, you still have a 4 mat Zeus. So then you're able to use the effect twice, making it so much more beneficial. I really like the Gaia, and it has came up when I was playing my friend a few times, and like having that extra like send is crazy. It's like they better have the kaijus, like they better have it, otherwise they're taking the L. But yeah, that's my reasoning on that. Now, one Abyss Dweller, one Rafflesia. The Abyss Dweller is the one I cut for the 3rd Sith Dart. Now, this is really good for like, say you can go into Rafflesia, but Rafflesia isn't that strong versus certain matchups. You instead would just go into Abyss Dweller. Or like, say you extrav the Rafflesia, you have an Abyss Dweller. Or say you extrav this. Like, it just gives another target for the Mageline, Salon, Mageline combo. And I feel like they're both pretty impactful. Like, for the reasons I already explained for Rafflesia, and then like, just a graveyard, can't activate effects, it's pretty damn good. Alright, now moving on to the side. We play 3 draw. This is exclusive for the Drytron matchup. Like, that's really important. Like, they just have to pass. Like, this is what I mean by discard impactful hand traps. That you drop this on Drytron, they have to pass. 3 Lancia is for, don't let anyone fool you. Oh, this is really glossy. Sorry, guys. This is for Dino. It's for Tri-Brigade specifically. You can put it on Invoke Shadal Dogmatica if you so desire. You could drop it on Eldritch, because there are some people still running Eldritch. It's just, you can even drop it on Virtual World as well. It's that impactful. Like, it hits so many decks that I feel like it's really important to the side. Now, let me get this out of the way. Now we play 2 Gamma in the Pank. We play, sorry, not Gamma. We play 1 Gamma, 1 Kumungus. We play this, so like, summon that on their side, summon this on your side. That's why we play the 2. Lowest attackers in Chocolate a la Mode can get over both of them without the Chateau filled spell, which is why I don't mind playing Kumungus. If Kumungus was 2,500, I would play 2 Gammas instead. But the 200 attack bonus doesn't matter. Pank, it's a special summon. You can swing in battle. You can pop a back row, pop a floodgate. It's a very good card. Like, this card itself outs window. So you special summon it, go battle, swing in the window. They have to respond. If they don't, you get rid of the window, and then you pop something else. Maybe a Schism, maybe a Magical Meltdown, like maybe just a random back row they have, maybe a Floodgate, Tikaboo, stuff like that. Now, for the back row hate, we play another Red Reboot, we play Harpies, and we play a 3rd Cosmic. The 3rd Cosmic is for certain matchups, like say you know you're going first versus Reversal World, you can go there. You know you're playing against like Guru, you're playing against Paleo, Eldritch, anything like that. You're playing against Striker, especially, you go into that. You got the Harpies, because this just wipes back row, just makes like rogue decks that like set 3 pass, set 4 pass scoop, unless they have the Waking. The Red Reboot, probably my favorite of them all, because it's a counter trap you can trigger in your hand that like you just activate and they can't do anything, so you know like you won't get wakinged off of it, right? And a decent amount of the time they can't chain it unless they have the Solemn. Like, they better have it. And, like, since Madolche can OTK so easily, it's so good. Now another Dark Ruler. Okay, You see, I'm not playing Nib, even though Nib is pretty good. I prefer Dark Ruler specifically because we can go into Zeus and Tiramisu really easily with this deck. And Tiramisu can easily remove cards off board. We just need to not let them negate us. So something like Nib that can be negated by a decent amount of the decks or isn't very beneficial, I feel like this is really good. Like, any combo deck, you drop this, you don't have to worry about, like, Judgment, because what combo deck is going to set Judgment, right? And like I said, if they have it, they better have it. Whenever, like, they could always hand trap Nib with, say, Drytron, they can Herald Nib. Like, I know a lot of Drytrons aren't playing Green Herald of Green Light anymore, but they can't even respond to it as a monster, immune to monster stuff. So, like, it just outs a lot of boards that Nib wouldn't be able to, and or that could get negated. So, and we don't struggle removing them. That's my logic. And you could even, like, say they're playing Dragoon Turbo, you could drop Dark Ruler on them, and then since you have Tiramisu, shuffle the Dragoon away. You don't have to worry about it whatsoever. But yeah, that's my build for the July 2021 format. I went to locals with a little bit different build, and I went 2-2. And that was because I played against Infernoids round 1, and I double bricked. I opened up double Hoot Cake Pudding Cess. Both games. Game 1 and Game 2, I opened up Hoot Cake Pudding Cess, and couldn't play the game. And that was when I was trying the 3 Hoot Cake out, and that happened. And then I was playing my round 2. It was versus Time Lords. Yeah, that was fine. I 2-0'd the Time Lords, and I played against Infinitrax. We went to time. We played a 29 minute game, game 1. And we went to time game 2, and I was able to take it 1-0 in the round, so I was 2-1. Then I played against Virtual World, and I double bricked again. I opened up Herald, Hoot Cake, Messin Gelato, and then, like, the rest were dead. And then game 2, I opened up Mageline. He asked me, and I passed because I had another Herald, but I had Herald Mageline, so it didn't do anything for me. So that's one of the main reasons why I cut Herald. Because I was already having issues with Herald, and the fact that I lost games and I had bad hands because of Herald, I was like, nah, I'm done with that. I'm cutting it. I'm cutting the third Hoot Cake. It's too cloggy. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the deck list. I haven't made one in a few months. Hopefully you guys can check out the Dragoon one, for example. It is out of date because LP is banned. However, hopefully I can catch you all later, and I will update this if I change the build to a significant extent, or I go to like a regional, or I do a 3v3 or something like that I feel like I should let you guys know. But until then, hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you later.